Hi guys, this is Dee, and yes, I am back again. So this morning, I decided to take a break from my, I guess you would call daily ritual of watching the news, which honestly, I never thought in a million years I would be like my grandma, watching the news every day, all the time, trying to figure out what's going on with our crazy government and the people who we elected to serve us, yet somehow they have completely managed to forget about the American people. Okay, so I'm not going to get on that because, honey, I'm not going to get on that. So I decided to take a break from that. And I decided to watch the comedy special by Dave Chappelle on Netflix. It's called Sticks and Stones. Now, I wouldn't have necessarily caught that comedy special, probably not right now, because I didn't even realize Dave Chappelle had another comedy special. I love all of his work. I could care less what other people say. Dave Chappelle is very shocking. He says a lot of stuff that is controversial, that's not politically correct. And I don't care because comedy is supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be shocking. It's supposed to be jaw dropping. It's not supposed to be politically correct. Comedy is kind of like the social barometer. It runs the gambit of issues and it speaks about those issues in real life and basically says what people want to say or think about, but they're too scared to say it because they don't want to offend anybody. That's what comedy is. That's what comedy has always been. So I was watching the special. And the only reason I really watched the special is because it just so happens one morning I got a notification from the Young Turks show that I watch, which is basically like from I look at it like this: Ring of Fire, Young Turks. There are quite a few shows on YouTube that discuss political issues, what's going on in the country with our government, and I happen to be subscribed to some of those shows because I actually listen to their commentary. They actually bring a lot of good information to people to digest, whether you believe what they say, whether you accept what they say, whether you're against or for what they say. So I've gotten in the habit of watching Anna Kasparian and Cenk. I can't pronounce, I can't say his last name, so I'm just gonna say Cenk. So I've gotten in the habit of watching the Young Turks. I happen to like the show, but sometimes I don't like the show because sometimes they're a little bit too pretentious. I've gone to college, yes. I don't have like a master's degree, a PhD. I haven't worked for the government. I haven't done a lot of these things. I've never worked in the legal realm as far as being a lawyer or anything. I've never served or worked in any type of congressional setting. So I understand that I think Jink has some experience in the congressional setting. So maybe these people have experiences that their viewers don't have, but sometimes they come across a little bit pretentious and a little bit stuck up. And even though that's how they come across, I still listen to them and I still follow what they say because they talk about a lot of good information. So it just so happens I was watching one show and they were talking about Dave Chappelle. And I was just like, at first, I was like, I'm not even finna watch the comedy show because they were talking about how bad it was and they couldn't understand what was going on with Dave Chappelle. It seemed like he's changed. It seemed like all he did was complain and blame the audience for him not being able to tell his comedy. And I was just like, that sounds horrible. But a lot of people, especially comedians, they have to change themselves so that they can make their comedy inclusive to everybody. And it really kind of gets on my nerves because my thing is comedy is not always supposed to be, that's just like when people tell fat jokes. If I get mad at somebody because they tell a fat joke, that's my issue. That has nothing to do with the other people out there who like fat jokes and think fat jokes are funny, you know? Or because I remember when I was a kid, we used to talk about your mama is fat. Yeah, your mama is fat. She's so big, she have her own zip code. We used to say stuff like that. And people didn't, of course people would get mad about you talking about their mama. But it was just a different time. You could say things and it wasn't life or death. Now it's like if a comedian say anything uh about the racial divide, if they say anything about the LGBTQ community, if they say anything about feminism, sexism, abortions, if they say anything about the Me Too movement, if they say anything about, any of these very sensitive topics, these very sensitive phenomena, and it's not really phenomena because these things have been going on for a long time. So it's not just this is some phenomena that is occurring in the past 5 years or the past 10 years. There's always been issues with same-sex relationships. There's always been issues. A lot of that goes back to the Bible. And so there are some avenues that we're not going to discuss. I'm not going to talk about because guess what? There's going to be some people who will see this and they'll get pissed off at me because I grew up Pentecostal and because I believe a certain way. They'll be like, oh, you talking bad about homosexual people. No, I'm not. I don't talk bad about anybody. I don't feel like I had a right to pass judgment on anybody. I feel like anybody should be able to do what they want to do. That's between them and God. But comedians are in a different sector. It's like their job is to talk about controversial stuff and make jokes about it. But now comedians are getting to the point where they can't make jokes about anything. Because if they make a joke about something, people want to cancel them. People want to get mad at them. People want to shut them down and say, you're not funny anymore. And I'm just like, I listened to Cenk from the Young Turks and I didn't necessarily want to watch Dave Chappelle's special because I thought it was going to be horrible based on, what they were saying. I watched that special this morning and let me tell you, first of all, Anna, Cenk, and the rest of y'all are Young Turks. Your opinion is your opinion. Just because I watch you and listen to what you say, I take the information you pass down and I quantify and qualify it for myself. And then I take it and I go out and research and make my own qualified decisions. Just because you don't like Dave Chappelle, that's your business. You don't have to like him. If you don't like his comedy anymore, that's your business. You don't have to like his comedy. But I'm going to tell you right now, I am getting so sick and tired of people walking around acting like everybody is supposed to follow in behind them, follow the leader because I say something is not funny. I listened to Roland Martin this morning after I went back and I looked up some videos with Cenk and this guy named Dennis Brown, I think his name was, and they were talking about how Dave Chappelle's show wasn't funny anymore and all this other stuff. Y'all get off of Dave Chappelle. I don't know Dave Chappelle. That man don't owe me no money. He ain't paid me no money. Get off that man. Let him tell his jokes. Some people like that. It's funny because my daughter calls it dark comedy, dark humor. In other words, things that are funny, but they really shouldn't be funny, and you really shouldn't laugh at them, but you do. I mean, we have become so sensitive that a person can't laugh about anything. That's the reason why people are killing themselves, because they can't laugh about anything. You can't think anything is funny anymore. Because you got people out here trying to tell you how to live your life, what should be funny and what should not be funny. Guess what? We are all individuals. As long as me laughing at something does not hurt somebody out there walking around in the streets that's going through whatever they're going through. As long as that doesn't hurt them, I am not infringing on their constitutional rights. So nobody should infringe on my constitutional rights. It is not fair. And it is not necessary for every freaking person who's got a YouTube channel, every freaking person who's got a television channel, every freaking person that's got an audience to feel that they need to make their audience follow in their beliefs. We are all entitled to believe what we want to believe, think what we want to think, say what we want to say, and do what we want to do. It doesn't make any sense that we have become a nation where people can't be themselves anymore. Everybody has to be like somebody else. That is absolutely ridiculous. It's unfair and it's unnecessary that so many different commentators on different channels, YouTube, on whatever your platform is, that you feel it necessary that you got to lead and shepherd the herd. Guess what? I like dark humor. I think some things that people say, I might try not to laugh at it out loud in public because yeah, I know it might be offensive to somebody, but guess what? That's my opinion and it's my right to laugh at whatever the heck I want to laugh at. Whatever I think is funny, whatever floats my boat. Somebody might laugh at my fat butt. Somebody might laugh at the fact that I walk on a cane. And guess what? No, that's not funny to me. It might not be, it might even be kind of hurtful to me because I have to use an assisted walking device. But I can't go over and punch somebody in the eye because they laugh because I can barely walk. I mean, yeah, that's wrong. It's wrong to make fun of people who are handicapped and who are dealing with different issues. But guess what? We can't rule people's lives. We can't make people live the way we want them to live simply because that's what we want. It doesn't work like that. And I'm getting so sick and tired. I am getting so sick and tired of people acting like they can rule and run other people's lives because you got a channel. I just wanted to let y'all know. And it's funny because the young Turks and Cenk and Anna may never ever see this video, but I just wanted to put it out there. Dave Chappelle is hella funny. I laughed through that whole special, and the reason I laughed is because what he was saying, I was like, ooh, you shouldn't be saying that. Ooh, that's ugly. Ooh, but I laughed anyway. Just because it's not funny to you doesn't mean that you should use your platform to discourage other people from laughing. Just because something is not funny to you doesn't mean it might not hit somebody else's funny bone. We are getting entirely too ridiculous in this country where we think we have to curtail the movements of everybody around us. We all have to be mindless sheep walking in a straight line, being prepared to be slaughtered by the same executioner just because one person says, oh, this is not funny, this is not how you should live your life, this is not who you should vote for, this is not what you should do, this is not where you should go, da 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 da. No, I refuse. I will always refuse to follow someone else just because they think they know what's best for me. This is D with Black Conspiracy TV, BAD TV. And also please make sure you take a moment to visit my channel, my YouTube channel, Indie Creative Arts Media TV, formerly Black Conspiracy TV. Look, guys, I feel like people should be able to laugh and enjoy their life the way they want to, even if it may be a little bit controversial to others. We should be able to laugh. And who has the right to censor what we think is funny? Everybody's different. We have our own views. We have our own way of living. And our lives are our own. It's time out for everybody being so freaking sensitive about every freaking thing. Because unfortunately, when you walk outside your door, out there into the real world, everybody's not going to be sensitive to what you're sensitive to. Everybody's not going to move the way you want them to move. You might actually run into a lot of hellfire and brimstone out there in the world because you feel like everybody is supposed to think the way you think, live the way you live, do the things you do, and act the way you act. But that's not real. That's not realistic. Once again, thank you guys for stopping by. You have a wonderful, blessed day. And please remember, keep your eyes open and your ears sharp. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also leave your comments about my commentary. Leave your comments on my blogs. Leave your comments on any of my videos. Just let me know what you think, how you feel about what I have to say, my point of view, and express your own point of view. I'm not going to get mad at you because guess what? I feel like people are entitled to say what they want to say, do what they want to do. Just be prepared for the consequences, good or bad. Thank you guys. And see you later, guys. Bye.